You are holding an instrument, not a decorative object, though it carries beauty, not a symbol, though it speaks in the language of symbols, not a talisman in the conventional sense, though it holds power. A transceiver is precisely what its name describes, a device that both receives and transmits. It operates as a living bridge between the visible world you navigate daily and the deeper intelligence that underlies and shapes all visible reality. What you have received is an active instrument. Treat it accordingly. Tezcatlipoca, whose name means smoking mirror, is one of the supreme deities of the Aztec pantheon, co-creator of the world alongside Quetzalcoatl, his eternal complement. Where Quetzalcoatl is light-feathered, ascending and solar, Tezcatlipoca is dark, jaguar-skinned, nocturnal, and descending. His sacred instrument is the obsidian mirror, polished volcanic glass, formed when lava meets water and cools instantaneously, black, reflective, made of the at the intersection of fire and water. The mirror does not show a flattering reflection, it shows what is actually present, the truth behind the appearance, the reality beneath the preferred story. The transceiver arrived through a process of deep reception, the received script running as a complete border around the mirror face was inscribed directly from a state of deep attention, language that came through rather than from the maker. The flame-crowned face of Tezcatlipoca himself arrived instead of the jaguar that was planned. Mictlantecuhtli, the Death Lord, appeared on the base unbidden. The piece self-directed its own current throughout. Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca face away from each other across the body of this piece, held together by gold edges in permanent creative tension. Both are necessary, both are present. This is the piece's primary and most essential gift, radical self-honesty. The smoking mirror shows what is actually present in your life, your relationships, your motivations, stripped of the story you prefer to believe, not as judgment, as liberation. What you can see clearly, you can work with. What you refuse to see works on you invisibly instead. The jaguar sees most clearly in conditions where ordinary perception fails. This transceiver supports the capacity to navigate uncertainty, confusion, and the unknown, not by eliminating the darkness, but by developing the vision that darkness requires. Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl face away from each other across the body of this piece, held in permanent creative tension by gold edges. The transceiver supports the capacity to hold contradiction without collapsing it, to carry light and shadow simultaneously, to resist the urge to resolve complexity into false simplicity. The obsidian knife lid sits above everything. This transceiver supports decisive action at moments when clarity has finally arrived. The capacity to cut cleanly and completely what needs to be cut. Old patterns, false relationships, outgrown identities, comfortable lies. The cut that the obsidian blade makes is so precise, it is nearly painless. The received script running as a complete border around the mirror face encodes something that arrived through the making rather than from research or intention. This transceiver supports access to knowledge that comes from beyond ordinary cognition. Tezcatlipoca as Titakauan, we are his slaves, is the force of destiny that no human will can ultimately resist. This transceiver supports honest reckoning with what is genuinely yours to carry, your actual destiny rather than your preferred one. Taking full accountability for your life as it actually is simultaneously the most demanding and most liberating possible stance. The 9 levels of Mictlan are mapped on the interior walls surrounding the owner's reflection in the interior mirror. This transceiver supports the willingness to go into difficult inner territory, grief, shadow, the parts of the self that have been avoided, with the understanding that descent is not destruction, but transformation. What enters Mictlan does not stay there. It emerges changed. The circumpolar stars on the night sky face never set. They wheel around the fixed point eternally. This transceiver supports the quality of sustained attention, the capacity to remain present and watchful through long periods where nothing appears to be happening, trusting that the turning continues even when progress is invisible. Work with this transceiver in darkness or near darkness, 2 candles at most. Bring it your most avoided question, not what you want, but what is actually true. There is a difference, and Tezcatlipoca knows it. Sit first with the front mirror, the smoky, incomplete reflection. Let yourself be partially seen. Notice what the smoke conceals and what it reveals. Then look through the opening into the interior mirror, your clear reflection in complete darkness. You must align yourself directly with the piece to see it. This alignment is itself the ritual. The piece requires intentional approach. You cannot accidentally see yourself in this mirror. You have to choose to look. What you see is not judgment. Tezcatlipoca does not judge, he simply shows. The truth he offers is not cruel, it is the most generous gift available, because what you see clearly you can work with. Do not reach for this transceiver when you need comfort. Reach for it when you need clarity. When the smoke in your own thinking has gone on long enough, when you are ready, or almost ready, to see. Not everyone is ready for the smoking mirror. This transceiver will find its owner. The person who has arrived at the point where they want truth more than comfort, clarity more than reassurance. That person will recognize this piece immediately. They have been looking for it without knowing what they were looking for. And when they see it, they will know. Each transceiver in this series carries the specific intelligence of its tradition, but all of them share a single fundamental nature. They are metaphysical instruments clothed in material form. The material is the vessel. What the vessel contains and continuously emanates is of a different order entirely. Operating at the level where physical reality is generated,